Tony's right. It's part 2 for the ChatGPT. So this is the thesis planning ChatGPT part. So the previous video, you want to look at that. I did ChatGPT for my resume, and I found it quite helpful. And I feel like you can like go and watch that video and just deal with the prompts and stuff like that. And it's based off of a YouTuber that I saw. I think I'll like link them down below if I can remember, if I can find them, because like I don't be saving people sometimes. But it's in my history. So actually, I think I made a comment and they responded. So if I can like just see who they are, I'll just link it to myself. Because it's on my art channel, I think, that I like was watching them. And so I just like write down their name and then post the video that I was watching. Anyway, so yeah, I started like, leaning into ChatGPT a little bit, and I know people are very like, no, you shouldn't do that, and it's like, I get you, but I also feel like using the tool and understanding what it does and how it works just lessens the fear around it. I think trying it out for a little bit, like to see what it's about, right? How it actually is functioning works. And one of the things the video mentioned, the lady in the video that I watched that kind of started this was like, she learned that it works best with prompts, but you have to get more sophisticated with prompts. And like, you know who you are was kind of like, welcome to the dark side when I started talking about this and how like I kind of was intrigued by it. So I started planning my resume. Like I said in the last video, this is about thesis. So what I ended up doing was trying to work backwards for this. So part of the problem, I think, in thesis 2 and 3 is that you have a really short timeline to get everything done, and you're not on a normal print production timeline. You're on like 10-week timeline, which means you gotta like have everything, like the semester is like 15 weeks, but like you really want everything done within like 10 weeks. And that's a lot. That's very stressful, right? Because you have to send off proofs, you have to send off your files, get proofs, edit them, send them back, finalize everything, and then make your final order, and then plan to market this. This helped me. I copy and pasted 39 pages. Now, this is like double space and stuff like that, but I'm saying I had 39 pages worth of like ChatGPT kind of like prompting type shit. What I did was made a plan, and first thing I asked for was a press kit. And I prompted it with what I am going to be writing about and stuff like that. It helps write a short description for it, a long description for it, about bio type things, blurbs, and then gave me key things that may want to consider when thinking about the press kit. Sample poems. You know, do you have a few poems that will help people tie in the aesthetic? Themes and keywords to help with it. Now, the themes and keywords will be helpful for visual identity, visual branding, right? That helps with that. And I've also started compiling on Pinterest ideas for cover design. Just quick, easy couple like design stuff, cover design, because I want to so my design interests are text, like the different text font that you're going to use, and the arrangement of that. I'm not necessarily always the biggest enthusiast of like the picture. I'm like playing with text kind of thing. And I just wanted to start looking at ideas of books that play with text, that play with titling, how you title things, that play with interior formatting and stuff like that. Because some people don't know that I attended grad school like at the same school, like a decade before I went to this program. And part of the things we had to do were like interior formatting. It was graphic design essentially. So, like I was very interested in that, you know? And so interested in like graphic design and all that shit, and was like kind of helpful. So in there, got all that cool. And yeah, Pinterest is like definitely helpful for me for cover design. I think Instagram would probably be like something like comparable, like very helpful. I just think that Pinterest is like way better for me because like Instagram, you like, yes, you can divide things up on Instagram, but I feel like Instagram is like you're scrolling forever, and Pinterest is kind of like I know when to stop almost. I know when to stop. But like Instagram is just like you're just scrolling forever, and then you get a whole bunch of bullshit that like you don't really need either. I feel like Pinterest does like compile things a little bit better for you. So yeah. Also like what's it called? Behance. Behance is like another like place you can look, because there's people on there that are like designers and stuff. Like we can't get a designer for us if we have to design it ourselves. But if you look on some of these things like cover design and stuff like that, you can also get ideas of what you want. And I think this is where understanding your poetry collection comes into play. Like I know what my poetry collection is about. I know what I'm interested in. And I have a good eye, so I would say, for what I genuinely like for stuff. And I think also my mind works on concepts, and so I create a world around the concept that I'm trying to have versus like I can see the big picture of like what I want. Like I know the theme, so I know what falls under that in terms of visual identity in my mind. Like it's very easy for me to do that because that's kind of how my mind works. Like the same thing with I just said in a few videos back that for my poem I write to concept also. So the title informs the content then I'm going to start talking about, and then I'll have a few lines for the poem. But like the concept itself, I kind of clearly see. It's just a matter of how I'm formatting it and approaching it. But the concept itself is like solid on its own. Like it's already been solidified. I rarely ever change the whole concept of a poem. Like, but I will definitely change the entire form of a poem. And there's been times when, like I said, I've changed the actual content and concept of the poem, but like it's usually the form. Like it's definitely almost always the form. So there's that. So yeah, like my thesis, going back to that, so it gave me keywords and stuff like that. That helps me for visual identity and branding and stuff like that. It also helps me if I'm going to ask to be put in certain places, right? Marketing myself. These keywords lean me towards or away from certain places, right? So there's that. Media assets available, things that I would need to like maybe market myself. So here's some things. A picture of a high resolution book cover. I need like maybe an author headshot, you know, get my name out there, my face out there. Maybe a book trailer, maybe an excerpt for graphics, things like that. Then I have pitches for festivals, like if I want to do a festival or something like that, pitches and places that I need to like look at. So it gave me a sample like cover letter inquiry. Bookstore pitches gave me samples for that. Then I prompted, what are some supplementary products and materials that I can put with this book? It gave me those. And then I asked 10 places to solicit book placement, around. And it pulled places that are actually in my locale. So I'll look into those. Then I prompted it again, and it gave me a 6-month prep thing. Now, the only flaw in this is that we haven't finished and solidified this thing. So it gave me all this stuff for a 6-month release, starting in November when I prompted it. Now, I can't do some of these things until next year, which is like, but one thing you can do if you are sure about what poems you want in your collection is you can send those off for submission, see if you can get some stuff back, if you can get accepted and stuff, and then you can, in the book, be like, this has been published here, and you can like market yourself that way. Like, and you circle back to them and be like, hey, my full collection book is out. And actually, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna put, if accepted. If accepted. Circle back. Okay, so I just had to write that note because I'm gonna forget and it's gonna be some bullshit. Okay, anyway, blurb requests, mood boards, all that stuff, teasers about the event, drafting a press kit. Then you got cover design reveals, creating readings, places to read, promotional content, getting buzz, getting reviews, getting on blogs, pitching yourself places, releasing some poems, doing all this is just stuff that people I don't think about when they're doing stuff like this, and I highly recommend people think about this. So launching, how to launch stuff, when to do this, putting your stuff out there, all of this stuff. And then even after it gave me stuff, I think I prompted to do stuff afterwards, right? After I have been done, what to do, and just how to market this book, taglines, looking at your target audience, campaign timelines, stuff like that. Creating visual identities and brands, newsletters and stuff. It really was helpful, and then some other product ideas to go along with this. And so I would, if you're trying to plan something, if you don't have a professional person to help you out with this, maybe pick up a few books. Definitely talk to people, especially if you are from a university. Ask what people did, and then maybe prompt ChatGPT and see where you can go with it. I don't understand why people, I think I understand a little bit why people are hesitant. I understand that like people feel like you didn't put any real effort into that and stuff like that, but I'm ultimately the curator of what this is defensive like architecture right here. But I am the one that has to ultimately curate this stuff, and I'm the one that prompted it. And I'm the one that's going to have to figure out what's the best plan for me. It's like getting as many options available that I may not be able to see, right? When you talk to people, you expand past your own blind spots. And I think that's what this has helped me to do. And I kind of like that. I appreciate, I think I just appreciate what it helped to unblock in me and help me to see in terms of potential, because personally didn't really have too much potential to like sit and think about this, because I've been it's just been a lot like going on, and I feel like if I were to try and do this like from 100% scratch, I just don't know how mentally well I would be. Because I've just been going, like, sometimes I feel like I'm running on fumes. I've been able to like relax a little bit more in like the last month or two. But it's been a lot going on, and it's been very kind of stressful. So this is like very helpful for me. So that's my experience with ChatGPT when it comes to my thesis planning. And yeah. So thank you for watching. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching Writer Moss. If you watched every day, congrats. If you didn't, congrats also. Like, thanks for checking in whatever day you checked in. So this is pretty much going to be the last set of videos for 2025. I don't see myself really having much more to say after that. Yeah. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.